Hey guys, in this video I am going to be talking about some of the bugs that are currently in the game. Some very relevant, like there's one at the end which is borderline game breaking, really important to know, but I will be going over some less important ones, and I'm going to be ordering them from like least impactful to most impactful, but I figured I would tell them anyways. Um, let's get into it. For our first glitch, we are going to be talking about Arena. So this one, the devs have openly stated that is intended. They've said it to the person who this is from, who will be linked down below. And it's absurd that they openly state that this is intended. This could be a lot later in the list, but whatever. Look at Laurel. So first of all, she's delayed in this clip. But it gets so much crazier in the next one with her timing, and we're just going to move to that. Here we have evidence 2. Let me just find where it is. So basically, normal arena gameplay, obviously Boreas abuse, who cares, but that's not the point. The point is we're going to be looking at Laurel when she's placed and her timing. And then I'm going to show what the template for the defense was. So they put down Laurel, and she does nothing. She just doesn't do anything, and then gets pulled randomly, and then this guy's about to lose because his ults are not up, right? Seems a bit weird, but you could argue, oh, the defenses aren't set right, that's normal, whatever. But now we have to go over to this. This is how the defense was set. They have Boreas down, they place Laurel, and then they actually activate Laurel's ult. So the glitch is that the arena defenses do not get set right at all, but it's quote unquote intended by the devs. The devs have openly stated this is not a problem. So that's why it's the first one, because apparently it's not an issue or even unintended. But obviously, I consider this a massive glitch and a massive problem. This is another kind of bug. It's a little hard to explain. I don't really have a clip of this, but I have heard it from a couple people, and I found a kind of screenshot. The reason why this is relevant is because Comet's A3 gives him range, and he will be able to hit here, right? This Comet is A3. It does not hit here. I don't know why, but his range is just broken sometimes. It's like when the game decides that it wants to break, it does, and these things will never get hit, basically, even though it is in his range. So just keep that in mind, that ranges sometimes are broken. Kind of arena bug, which is considered quote-unquote intended. As you can see, their Torador got placed in the back, even though everything is front-loaded. And the reason why this happens, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, at least around when this new arena got introduced, this is because when people do not set their defenses properly, aka they get to a certain round and they don't use a certain unit, that unit, if the bot ever gets to that round, will just automatically put it wherever. And generally the bot will prioritize the bottom. So it's really weird. It's basically terrible AI. If your defense never placed it, then it will never place it right. I'm not sure why it's like this. You would think it just goes back like a certain amount of other attacks ago, and then it just sees what you did with that unit. No, it just does whatever the hell it wants. So Arena is just fundamentally broken, and the devs basically say, nah, it's intended. So screw you devs, figure it out. Thank you, War Guides, for the screenshot. Go check them out. Um, I actually managed to trigger this myself, but I wasn't able to replicate it on video. So I just figured I would pull up his screenshot. He's the one who told me about it. As you can see, it looks so cursed. There's a way to, when you gear swap, your the icon of whatever set you have and the levels of that they're leveled will not show up. So it looks so cursed. Like this wisdom piece looks terrible. A lot of these amulets are terrible. Seeing an ancient piece like this, kind of like faded out, is strange. This is not game breaking anyway. This has no impact on the actual game. It just really bothers me, so I figured I would include it. Pretty funny. So this is a random clip from someone in the Discord. I will link them down below if you would like to see. But this is just kind of a bug for Carnelian and Cyrus in Guild v Guild. It's not the craziest bug ever, but it definitely does not make sense as to why this is allowed. Luckily, the Guild v Guild thing is patched. If you guys want a review on past bugs, that's fine too. But as you can see here, these skeletons will never die. Just straight up, if you're using Carnelian with Cyrus, the skeletons will not die. As you see here, skeletons are dying, right? No, they're not. They're not dying. I don't know why it's like this. Actually, I do. I'll go over in a second. But, like, this is so broken. The skeletons only have one block each, sure. But that's still, like, relevant, you know? This hex will never be targeted. If you have Cyrus Carnelian, you could use these platform slots and they will never get targeted because the skeletons will never die and the archers will never target. Obviously Hex works best because he won't instantly die, you can still instantly kill. But still, why is this allowed? This needs to be patched. Like, it should not be unkillable because of just a weird interaction. So I'm going to just mention a couple bugs that I don't actually have clips for. So I'm just going to go over those right now, and you could just take my word for them. You could test them if you have the means to, just stuff like that. So there is a kind of bug where Boreas just won't do his auto, which is the thing which is super large. He just won't do it sometimes if certain conditions take place. Dolores very rarely works in certain autos. I've had to redo a lot of autos because she just glitches out and doesn't do anything. A lot of the autos in this game are broken. And another pretty big thing that's not actually a big deal that I can't really find yet, or right now, is you can double claim your Guild v Guild stuff, but it is purely visual. You won't actually get anything by it. You just can claim it on multiple devices, but the second claim will not give you anything. There's probably some other ones, but not so important. But let's get into the three largest ones now. Fun fact, Zilitu is actually incredibly bugged in multiple ways. So, Zilitu obviously best guild boss damage dealer, we all know this. She actually is broken. So in her ultimate, every hit she does, she actually does 2 hits by accident. It's not listed anywhere in her kit. She's just bugged to do 2 hits for some reason. If you have Crystal of Vileness on her, it's glitched. So instead of having like 1 times her stats or something like that, like it's just being another version of her, instead it does like 2.7 times their stats. So instead of 100%, it's 270%. I have no idea how she got that broken. And she also has some very strange interactions with Twin Fiend, where Twin Fiend ult will actually, she will still build her passive extra damage while Twin Fiend is ulting. So it's very strange. Zilitu is basically a fraud. Hex is supposed to be better in Guild Boss, maybe in Silas, but Zilitu is better because she's broken and she doesn't work right. Thanks for the guy that sent me this. I will link him down below as well as a lot of the other people. So this bug is really interesting. It has to do with Procure. So Procure has a thing where when he ults or just when he does something, he gives some sort of buff to his teammates. Pretty sure it's like either damage resist or defense increase. We'll see. And there's a very strange interaction with him once he is pulled. So when he uses his ultimate, he adds that buff to his allies that are around him, but for some reason, when you pull him, when he's in his ult, it continues to be on. So it adds physical and magic reduction when he ults, but if you pull him, it stays. I consider this to be, while it doesn't seem very good, I think that this has the potential to be very, very strong if anyone figures out how to abuse it. So that's why I have it pretty close to the final bug. But let's get into the by far most groundbreaking, or by far the most broken bug that we have. The main highlight of this video is going to be this really big glitch with certain gear sets, which I will show in just a second. But I will first be picking a good test subject. And that test subject, I think, will be just Silas. I think Silas is a good test subject, and we could just test him out. So, the glitch that I think is borderline, if not just completely game-breaking, is the one with two specific gear sets. The gear sets being Wisdom and Soulbound Arcana. With the Lust update, the devs kind of broke these characters, and now they don't work as intended if they are wearing these gear sets. And it's really crazy. I'm not entirely sure why they did it this way. It seems like bad programming, but whatever. So we have a bunch of healers just because they don't deal damage, and it will let us see our numbers when we are using the ults. Because if you don't know, Wisdom, the full set is after using your ultimate, or after using ultimate skills. So basically when you use your own ultimate, increases damage by 35% for 10 seconds. Pretty normal stuff. As you can see, we're just going to try it out at the start. Soulbound Arcana works a bit different, so stay tuned for that. But we're just going to test it out. The way Wisdom works, obviously, is you basically just, when you ultimate, your ultimate is stronger. Okay? It's pretty normal stuff. As you can see, he is doing about 23,000 on average on his normal hits. Okay? 23,000, keep that in mind. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to put everyone on the side so that they are not buffing him in any way, and we just get an accurate test. So, once again, 23,000. And the way Wisdom works is, oh, it's his own ult, right? His own ult buffs him. And you would think that's how it works, but because it is glitched, if I use anyone else's ult, he gets the power boost. Globally, no matter who uses it, if you are wearing a Wisdom set, the person with the Wisdom set, when someone else ults, will gain the boost. It's crazy. He's getting the boost right now. 29,000. He does not need to ult on the gear set that activates when you ult in order to activate his gear set. It doesn't make sense. So hypothetically, you would have a permanent 35% damage increase if you use the Wisdom set and you were consistently ulting. So in Guild Boss, if you don't have Infernal Roar or anything, you could just put a Wisdom set on, have that full uptime, and it'll work. It's so strange. And that brings us to Soulbound Arcana, which works a little bit of the same, but obviously it's a different gear set, so it will work differently. So I'm going to show it without any other ults being cast, just to show you how it generally works. We do Silas. I'm doing Vortex because Vortex in no way supports his damage, just so we get an accurate reading. We're doing about 15,000, okay? Keep that in mind, 15,000. We use our ultimate. We're just going to wait for his ultimate to run out, which should be pretty fast. Keep in mind 68,000 as well if you would like, but it's about 15,000 on the base. Now that we ulted, the way Soulbound Arcana works is he will get a 10% boost. So, instead of 15, he's doing about 16,000, right? Pretty normal stuff. 10% increase, that's what it says on the card. Every ultimate you do is an extra 10% damage. That's pretty basic, pretty normal. But what if we use the same sort of thing that we did for Wisdom? Instead, we're gonna place all of our things on the side, making sure they don't do damage just to make the test a bit more accurate. Silas is in no way getting any buffs. He does about 15,000. As we said before, when he gets the Soulbound Arcana buff, he does about 16,000. So let's try this. Hollow does not buff in any way him, right? He has no buffs. But let's see his damage. 16.5 thousand. Let's use another alt. That seems a bit weird, right? 17,000. Let's use more alts. What is he doing now? 19,000. Why is he doing that? He is not alting on the set that when he alts, he gets stronger. Let's use Midan, right? He's now doing 20,000 without using his alt on Stabwound Arcana. We use another one. We get 21,000. We use another one, and it's still 21,000 because it's a cap of 5 ultimates. That's broken. It's basically for guild boss runs. If you have a Soulbound Arcana set and you're cycling Rage at the beginning, instead of having like a Hex have to ult 5 times for max stacks and max damage, instead he is getting instant 50% more damage. It means that Soulbound Arcana now, for most characters with this bug, is better in almost every way than Infernal Roar. Because you can activate the max potential, the max 50% damage on every single source of damage on your character by using not even your own ult, which is why Soulbound Arcana sometimes is worse than Infernal Roar. Because Infernal Roar does not need time to ramp up. So something like Silas, where his ultimate is affected by Infernal Roar, you do not need to use Soulbound Arcana. It's worse because of that time it takes to build up. But if you have same exact stats now, it seems to me that Soulbound Arcana is better in every way for guild boss, as long as this bug is active. So the devs really need to patch this out. It's a really, really big bug, really groundbreaking to know this. Deegs hit 101,000 or so a couple days ago. That's because of the Soulbound Arcana set bug. That is not because he got so much better than Boomer. No offense to him, but I assume that gave him like an extra 1,000 blood at least, because the top teams are using Soulbound Arcana on Hex. Obviously, his exclusive is absolutely overpowered, as you can see, but they're using Soulbound Arcana on stuff like Hex. I'm not sure what else they're using it on. I know Infernal Roar is better for a lot of things, but just keep in mind that this Soulbound Arcana is instant stacks from no matter who uses their ultimates. That's kind of the main reason why I made this video, to talk about this, but I hope you enjoyed everything else. That's kind of the highlight. Just keep that in mind. Most of these bugs, if not all of them, really need to be fixed. Even the ones where they apparently aren't actual bugs, but they are. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and you know about some of these things now. Sorry for getting a bit mad on the test, but it's just like, I don't have good Soulbound Arcana, and now I'm getting shafted because the game is fundamentally broken, and all the devs are on vacation right now, so they're never going to actually fix it. But that's about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all a different time.